Hello and welcome back to our lecture number 4. And in this lecture, we are going to study about REPL Terminal in Node.js. Okay, and it is a very important concept in learning Node.js. So let's now talk about it. So as you can see here on my screen that I have written that REPL stands for read, eval, print and loop. Okay, and I will explain the meaning of each of these words in the next slide. But for now, you should keep that in mind that REPL terminal is just like a console window, like your command prompt or PowerShell, okay, or terminal in Mac or Linux, which is going to allow you to write some commands. Then it is going to evaluate that and print the result. Okay, and this process will continue until you exit this terminal mode. Okay, so let's now talk about each of the word. Okay, so the first R stands for read. Read means this REPL terminal will take the input from the terminal as a command. Okay, then it is going to evaluate that. Okay, so this is the meaning of eval. And the third step is to print the output. Okay, so that is the purpose of this P here. And the last step is to repeat these three instructions, that is take the input, read, then evaluate it, and then again print the output, and then again do the same thing. Okay, so this is what this REPL terminal is for. Okay, and REPL terminal is very useful in experimenting with Node.js codes and to debug JavaScript codes in your Node.js environment. Okay, so let's now head back to our terminal and let me show you how to use this. So here I am on my terminal. Okay, and if you are on a Windows machine, then open your command prompt or PowerShell. Okay, now the first thing you need to do is to write this node here. Okay, and press enter. Now you can see as soon as you write this node here and press enter, you will get to see this welcome message saying welcome to Node.js, and here it will show the version of Node which is currently installed in your machine. Now you will get to see this kind of arrow. Okay, and this cursor. Okay, it means it is waiting for users input. So let's say here I want to perform addition. I'm saying 2 plus 3, press enter, and you get to see the result, that is 5. You can also perform some bit complex calculations, like if I say here, okay, so like this expression. Okay, so it is producing the accurate result, so you can use it like a calculator. Okay, now but this is not all that you can do with REPL terminal. You can also define variables. Okay, here, so let me show it to you as well. So here I have written x equals 10, okay, or x assigned 10. Then what this statement will actually do, it is going to assign the variable x a value of 10, store it in the memory, and also print that on our console window. But when I use this let keyword to define a variable and declare it, then the story will be slightly different. Let's see what happens. So now you can see that in this case, when I use the let keyword for declaring and defining a variable, it has printed undefined on my screen, but behind the scene the y variable is been assigned a value of 10. Okay, so you can check that by writing this simple expression like x plus y, and you get to see the result as 20, because the value of x was 10 and also the value of y was 10, so their sum comes out to be 20. And you can also do all sorts of things which you can do in JavaScript. Okay, because Node.js is basically JavaScript runtime. Okay, so if I am writing here console.log, and then let's say I'm passing a string here, and I'm saying welcome to our channel, user to developer. Okay, and let's see what happens. Sorry, so here I have written and press enter, and you get to see the result. Okay, now after this I also want to tell you that you can actually write multi lines of code. Okay, and how to do that? So for that I'm going to firstly define a variable here. Okay, and declare it. So let a equal 0. Here basically I am initializing a variable, let's say a. Now this variable a has been made and stored into the memory with a value of 0 inside it. Now what I want to do, I want to write a do while. So for that, I have written this do and this is starting curly bracket. Now when I press enter, you can see this three dots appear. Okay, then again this cursor, and it means that these three dot means that the our expression is continuing. Okay, because what happens, node.js is continuously checking for the continuity of the expression, and it automatically detects that you have written this opening curly bracket. It means your code is still going on, so it passes you to the next line. Okay, now I'm going to write here a plus plus. Okay, and in the next statement I will say console.log. Okay, and inside this console.log I'm going to print plus a. Okay, and end this statement as well. And then here I'm going to end this code of this block of code, and I have to write this while so as to specify a terminating condition. So this loop is going to run till a is less than 5. Okay, till a is less than 5. So I have written it like this, right? Now let's see what happens when I press enter. Now you can see that this code worked exactly fine. It has printed this 1 2 3 4 5, and this was exactly the expected result out of this. So I hope now you got the idea how to write multi-line expression, single line expression, how to use variables, okay, and all other things. Now let me also tell you one more interesting thing. And that is, like, if you define a variable, let's say b, and assign it some value, let's say 256. Okay, press enter. Now this variable is made and stored into the memory with a value of 256. And again I am saying, let's say here, let another variable c, and I am giving it a value of 23. Okay, and I want to sum b and c, and then plus c. Okay, press enter, and you get to see their sum. Okay, now there is a thing known as underscore, which can get you the last result that you performed in your REPL terminal. And how to use this, let me show you. You can write here let sum assign. Okay, and write this underscore. So what this underscore actually does, it will get the last printed value on this REPL terminal. So if I press enter, and now if I want to check the value of this sum, then you can see that sum is 279, but I have assigned the value of sum as underscore. And what this underscore does, it gets the last printed value on our REPL terminal. Okay, so keep this in mind. Okay, it's very useful in debugging. Now I want to show you some commands which you can use, okay, in this REPL terminal. So the first thing is, whenever you get stuck, you have to type this dot help, okay, or this period help, and press enter. Now you can see all sorts of commands that REPL terminal has to offer you. So you can see this dot break command, what this is going to do. So when you are, let's say, writing this multi-line code and you want to break out of this, then you can type this dot break. Okay, and the same thing can also be performed by this dot clear. That's why it has written here that dot clear command is also an alias for dot break. It means it performs the same work as dot break. Dot editor will make you enter in the editor mode. You can try it here. If I write dot editor, press enter, now you are in editor mode. And to cancel this editor mode, you have to press alt plus C or control plus C if you are in a Mac. Okay, so I have exited that mode. Now if you want to save all of these results, okay, all of this session in a file, so what you need to do, you just have to write here save, okay, and then write the name of the file in which you want to store, and I will just here save test. Okay, and press enter. So you can see that it is saying that session is saved to my file test. And now to reload this session again, what you need to do, you just need to type load space and the name of the file, and I will just load the same file as I made in the last command. So when I press enter, okay, after this load test, then you can see that we have performed all of these operations 2 plus 3 and so in our last session, and that's why it is shown here. Okay, so these are all the commands that you need to use. Okay, and you can also use up and down arrow. Okay, what it is going to do, up and down, it will show you the commands that you have written previously, so you can modify them and perform your task in a much easier way. Also, you can, when you want to exit this REPL terminal, then what you have to do, you can see here, to exit the REPL terminal you have to type dot exit. Okay, so just type here dot exit and you will be out of this REPL terminal, and this angle bracket will not be shown. Okay, so now you are out of this. You can see here again back on your normal terminal. So friends, this is all that I want to tell you about using REPL terminal, because we will be using this very much during debugging our node.js code. Okay, so I hope you got all of these things that I taught you in this lecture. So I'll see you in the next video.